Get a win on LAN. Well, they have returned for the first time to LAN since that victory and look to try and kick themselves off for the win versus the Outsiders. We're starting on Dust2, the map pick of the Outsiders. We've got Kicker with a little bit of utility, Flit also with that, and Fame with the molly. We'll see how they pan this one out early on. The T side leaning for the long peak.
Shiro holding lower tons, just backs up as Flit makes the move forwards. Jump peek from Shiro, still hasn't spotted that opponent. And Outsiders are happy to take a good bit of time initially. No shots on the server right now. That will change. Shiro finds the fight against Flit. Shiro's going to stick around.
Yeah, Shiro looking for the pick on short is going to drop behind the wall. A flash being set up for nafany. That's going to unleash Shiro for the peak. He goes on in, and Fame will take him out. Shiro down and out, no problem. Utility picked up, and Outsiders can pick it up off the ground and ready themselves for an A attack. Currently, it is Axel out towards long. But that smoke is going to start coming through, and he will realize, oh, I've got to draw my attention back to the A site, but I'm still worried about the long position. There's a lot of weaknesses here for Cloud9 in terms of this A site setup. Outsiders should be getting the bomb plant.
Eventually they will clear out these positions. nafany finds another though. And with that kit on his back pocket, they can afford to play retake. They might not even need to. They're finding all the kills. Still no bomb plant. Kicker tries to go for it, but they run him down. And Outsiders just give away a bunch of fights. Felt a little unnecessary there.
Yeah, that was, it looks so good for the Outsiders in terms of they should have been able to get to the site, no problem. They did. But then the Cloud9 side come out swinging. Yeah, a lot of fights going their way. And they take the first round of the game. See, the Dust2, it's a map that, you know, the Outsiders have loved to play no matter what variation of the roster it is. And Norbert, throughout his career and the teams that he's played in, also Dust2 has been a fixture of their play too. So it's quite an obvious map to pick up early if you're Outsiders early on in this project. It's quite an easy map to start to employ some of your philosophy. You see Norbert ahead of this event. You know, we were wondering, you know, where they're going to be at, and he said during the event he's only starting to click with Jame's mentality around the game. And I think the way he worded it was that Jame has got such a big brain or something or other, and it took a while for him to adjust to it, but he's finally getting the hang of it. I think it is kind of an interesting, a unique style, shall we say. I think that was the way you brought it up earlier, Hawk,
yeah,
that Jame brings to the server. It's going to take a while to get used to it.
And listen, I appreciate all styles of Counter-Strike. I may have my favorites, but I appreciate them all, because that's what makes Counter-Strike such a great game. If we didn't have the different styles, the different personalities showing themselves on the server, it wouldn't be as interesting.
Yeah, well, James certainly interesting. Not in this round, though. Axel will take down 3 out long. Shiro with 1, the second picked up with a pistol. A good start here for Cloud9. We thought they were actually going to win the online tournament ahead of this event because, you know, Cloud9, people call them onliners. Well, they're back to online. Weren't actually able to pick it up. It was the best onliner of Sirius and the best of them, and took the win over that.
Is that what that tournament was? Who was the best onliner?
Yeah, and Sirius, you know, was the king of online.
Sadly, not at this tournament.
Well, 2-0 start for Cloud9. Finally a buy out for Outsiders. Yeah, if Cologne was online again, who knows what big it would be. But for this round, Cloud9, they've got MP9 and FAMAS, bit of a bonus.
They missed this Xbox smoke.
They have.
That's fine. Not the biggest problem. There's no one watching it as Hobbit crosses over to B. Cloud9 don't mind stacking 3B early in quite a few of their rounds. I think here the lack of AWP is maybe part of it. You don't have an AWP to contest mid, but Shiro generally plays over towards A anyway. Outsiders are starting to put just a bit of pressure in towards the mid doors. Looks likely that it could end as some smokes and some nades into this A site. One smoke has gone mid to B. They are leaving their options open on the Outsiders side of things, but now the utility will come into A, and Shiro with the rifle will try and step up.
Shiro is going to be under pressure with the utility. He has a nice little flash that pops off the box to try and catch out his opponents where Flit dives down. Jame stays committed to the fight and beats out Shiro. finds the reply for his fallen teammate. They throw the bomb to Fame. He is tasked with planting it. Not a bad setup here in the post plant for Outsiders as they look to try and convert their first round on the board.
One kit on nafany. Axel's still holding long. He's convinced someone's going to come there eventually. But it was all in on short from Outsiders in this round, and that does limit their options here in the post plant.
Yeah, he's paranoid about long, isn't he, Axel? But luckily his teammates start to move through. Maybe they can gather enough info to allow Axel to comfortably come back and try and fight this. And you remember, Hobbit is still coming out through short too. So a lot of players starting to surround this post plant. And Cloud9, they're running out of time. They need the kills to come through. They will find every kill, but they need to get on the defuse right away. nafany, with a kit on his back, is going to stick that one through and pull it onto the board for Cloud9. A 3-0 start for the defensive side. That was a bit of a bonus too, considering some of the weaker guns were kept in play. Outsiders getting up into the sites, but holding onto the bomb site is proving to be a problem.
Great patience on the retake from Cloud9. Definitely a team themselves that are willing to be composed in late round scenarios. And I love that it's Hobbit in on that flank. Such an experienced player. He knows he can take as much time as is required. Goes ahead and waits for his teammates to make most of the noise. Outsiders now might have a fast round on our hands, Dinko. We were saying earlier, they have been running a few faster plays with this newer lineup. Although they are all sitting in tunnels right now. But as soon as that smoke fades, they look ready to go. Oh, Winters is spamming. He will get the reload in time, though. And nafany's molly could make this really difficult, but he throws it early.
Yeah, this is about to be down to whether or not nafany gets caught with the nade in hand, but luckily that will not be a risk because they sent Inters out to peek first. Flit.
This is James' idea of a fast round, by the way.
This is a full rush in James' mind, isn't it? Full speed ahead. Finally, it's starting to come on in. Rush being perhaps not being translated too well here. Shiro, he's got a pick on Fame, and they're held inside of the smoke at the end of the tunnel. And there might be no light at the end of the tunnel at all here for Outsiders. They're all dropping like flies. nafany brings down Kicker to close it. 4-0 at the beginning of Dust2 for Cloud9. Not good enough here from Outsiders just yet.
Maybe that isn't what Norbert meant by not understanding Jame initially.
It's like, wait, rush B used to mean
B,
we just kind of rushed B. No, but you do not understand the complex levels of this B rush. You need to start and slow, and eventually you confuse your opponent so much that they just give up.
Back and forth.
And then at the end, you save.
Boom.
All good rounds end with a save.
The Jame philosophy. He's got the AWP in this one. No Kevlar for him. So we'll have to be even safer than usual. Flit in towards lower tunnels. They will start to move out towards mid. Saw earlier on Flit going completely by himself towards short without the utility. I'd like to see him get some backup before committing to anything. Cloud9 haven't really had a reason to switch from their setup right now, and this is one thing that concerns me in this series. If Outsiders keep playing super slow, Cloud9 are going to be very willing to hold their utility. They're going to know how Jame likes to play. We're already seeing 2 full sets of nades left available on the Cloud9 side, and if you keep those for the late round, you can be very disruptive at times. Even given a smoke, which will go down just before Outsiders can make any move.
Well, Outsiders do love to run the clock down. 30 seconds left. A little bit of control taken up in short, but eventually there will need to be a maneuver to close this round, at least an attempt.
The B-pop might be okay. Inters will be calling for assistance very quickly, though. This clearly can't be a fake. The spray through is brutal.
Yeah, it's just swept the lights from underneath him. It is now just Flit left charging forward. His teammate attempts to maneuver through middle, but Jame is already off to save his AWP. And they're going to have to cancel this one. Flit will be his bodyguard. And yeah, this is more like it. This is more like the Outsiders you expect to watch sometimes, but running the clock down, they do love to take their time, and when you leave yourself with such little time, all it takes is a double like that right at the end to foil your plans completely. So Yeah, it hasn't been the start Outsiders are looking for. A timeout is needed to just try and get into this one. They have not settled into this matchup at all. Cloud9 have been dominating them. 7-0 right now on nafany, 4-0 on Axel. 2 of the Cloud9 players are yet to die. Only 5 kills over on the side of Outsiders altogether.
None of those stats paint a pretty picture. It's more like one of my artistic attempts than a Bob Ross,
Artistic
for example.
attempts, all right. Stickmen are not classified as artistic attempts.
You know, we did have a content piece once where we had to draw another member of talent. For some reason, I chose to draw Freya, bless her, and it was just terrible. It was just the worst thing ever. Like, we had to not look at the paper while we were drawing.
I bet she was so nice she said it was actually good.
I apologized profusely.
Well, I do appreciate Freya getting us the interviews here on the B stream too. Always nice to check in with the teams, doing double the workout there.
Got some great info out of Blade too.
Oh, yeah, we did. We really did. Maybe we can get a bit more out of Groove too. I love getting interviews from Groove. He's very candid in his interviews, just like Blade.
It was cool to hear the progression of the electronic in-game leadership, or rather the lack of progression is what Blade said.
Not going well.
Yeah.
Not much has happened really, to be honest.
I think translating what Blade meant, he already knows that electronic's pretty good in the mid-round calling scenarios.
Yeah.
He was more talking about taking control of the overall picture, the entire round.
Yeah.
Electronic still needs some work on. But it is funnier to think that he's just
obviously,
not making any progress.
Yeah, nothing. Well, okay, I suppose you don't really need to change it if it's gone so well already. Okay, Shiro, nice wall by. Norbit's out of there, so a good start again here for Cloud9. Outsiders certainly need to change something because this game has been a non-starter so far in their map pick. Taking the attempt to run up through short. Hobbit on the other side of it. Spots one dropping down. He can call that to Shiro to adjust his crosshair to deal with the drop player down into CT. Axel and Hobbit with a couple from the rifles. A pixel seam for Shiro. The rest of his teammates are cleaning up house, and just Fame left inside of Goose. Shiro does not want to commit to that alone without teammates being close to trade. Nice shot from Fame, eventually runs out of ammo and has to go to the Deagle instead, and so that is his death sentence. 6 rounds in a row for Cloud9. It's been a strong start, a strong return to land so far for Cloud9. Not too many problems going their way here.
Pure business right now from Cloud9.
Premium business.
No fun allowed for Outsiders.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a B rush? A real B rush?
It's a silent movie is what it is.
Oh my.
Here they come, Shiro holding, misses the first shot, under a lot of pressure. Fame will actually crack through, Interest has gone down, and so Shiro's overrun because the AWP not really designed to deal with so many players running you down. So you've lost the B site that quickly. And Cloud9 have to save, so all right, there we go. Sometimes it does take a round just like that to get into the game.
Cloud9 is sitting there like, wait, what? Outsiders are capable of doing that? Oh my god. Didn't see that coming. And I honestly would love to see just a couple of plays like that brought in for Outsiders, because the players they've brought in, Norbit and Fame, were both pretty damn aggressive players on their previous teams. Kirkut's a player who can also go in and go for some aggressive fights too at times.
Yeah.
I think it's good to just go in and throw in some of those plays occasionally.
And when you're losing a player like Yikindon, you're also losing Buster, right? You're losing some elements that were incredible at being aggressive, so you kind of do need that element to replace them.
Yeah, instead of just Yikindon pushing.
Yeah.
I appreciate that it's a team push onto B there.
It's great. It's fantastic. Timeout needed here for Cloud9 right away. Damn, we lost our chance for a 16-0, so what are we going to do about this? But good first kill from Fame, obviously getting rid of Inters is massive, and then Shiro just not really in a position to get a whole lot done. Not set up to deal with that rush.
It is kind of crazy that Shiro takes that shot into the tunnels and there's 5 players there and somehow doesn't hit anyone. It's a bit unfortunate. It's such a tight choke point. You'd think you'd hit someone. But apparently not.
Can't hit the broadside of a barn in that situation.
I think for Cloud9, that's not a massive concern. Outsiders going for a B rush. Maybe something that you didn't expect. You missed that first shot. They do decide to take a timeout, but in these slow rounds, which should be the majority of the Outsiders rounds, I don't think Outsiders are doing enough to pressure across the map. They have generally just been sitting in their own area, maybe taking mid, maybe taking short, but never really forcing the Cloud9 setup to adjust and to shift. Fame. Jump peeking. It was the attempt at taking long here from Outsiders, but Axel again is just pushed up into the long doors. He's just going to call to his teammates. A-long is completely clear. Be ready on the B site, boys.
Yeah, be ready for B. What's the only thing that's worked for Outsiders? B. So let's see if they have been able to patch it up. Again, Shiro is here, but it's a different setup. He's further towards the back of the site, which you would say is more likely to be successful. But as soon as they start, it is now Shiro who peeks out from the same spot he was overrun in the previous round. But this time, his teammate of Inters is still alive, and he is going to start racking up kills. Axel comes in to help out. Kicker is down, and it is just Jame left alone. AK-47 pulled into hand. Inters is down first. Smoke will deploy towards the doorway. Jame in the clutch is often an absolute beast. Maybe this could be one of those situations where Jame pulls out an incredible clutch to give his team a round. Bringing himself back into the B site. Smoke has faded away. Spots a barrel, knows one is close. It's a quick shot for Jame. Can he find the final frag of this round? A 4K looms for Jame, and he goes into the open. Hobbit used the window of opportunity to move his way through the doorway and catches Jame out looking the wrong way. Round will be recovered here for Cloud9, 7-1. They prevent Outsiders from doubling up.
I mean, this round comes fairly close, but this is just way too easy at the start of the round for Shiro. I don't think there was a single flash thrown on the initial push, which is always going to be a real risk. There was barely any utility deployed as they tried to just burst out through the tunnels. Then once they saw the AWP shot, they realized they have to do something. They threw a flash to the left side. They honestly did a pretty good job at even making that round competitive. Oh, unfortunate for Norbert. As soon as he starts spamming, he didn't realize Axel could have moved forwards. And so he spams, Axel spams back from the different angle.
Interesting, as we currently watch the Outsiders play, Yukindar is making his debut with Liquid on the other stream. Seems to be going quite well for Liquid in the lead over Spirit at the moment. I'll not spoil the result, you can go and watch that one over on the A stream. But for his ex-teammates, not going so well. Right now on Dust2, not going so well in round 9 either after losing their first player. They look to go B again.
Stack into the tunnels with 3. After losing that first player, they're going for a similar idea. No noise made, no nades used. Kicker could be the difference maker though.
Yeah, because now he actually splits the attention of the two B defenders, but the call to go through the tunnels isn't being made, and now Inter's at the back of the side. It's not enough done here for Cloud9, and that will be the round.
Well, the dry fights are effective this time round. In the previous, they were kind of shut down early. This time they are able to get out of the early choke point. And Kicker getting that kill towards mid, I think makes a good difference in that. You have to start considering the split onto the site. You can play with your head a little. Puts a bit more pressure on the players on the site to win their fights. And this 2v3 retake, not really viable. Through the car we go.
It's a nice car, isn't it? It's looking great.
You've got an interesting definition of nice.
You reckon you could parallel park that thing?
I couldn't parallel park a good car even.
Well,
so.
that's got no tires, Hawker, so probably would be rather difficult to do it. Actually, yeah, it has no tires. It does have wheels, though.
What's the difference between wheels and tires?
The tire's the rubber bit, right?
Sure.
The wheel bit.
I don't know anything about cars, Dinko. I don't need to know this.
That one looks alright. You could park that one, okay, I think.
Needs a little dust down first.
Yeah, sure. Dust it down.
It's Outsiders who are getting dusted down right now.
Well, they won the last round, so that's good.
They did.
It's a step in the right direction here. Now, the problem was Outsiders did win that B rush round too, and then they couldn't actually follow up with another round win right after, so they haven't really been able to build. Now, if they are able to pick up this follow-up, that will finally put the economy of Cloud9 in the bin. Hobbit needs to be careful. Hobbit needs to be very careful, and he gets caught looking the wrong way. Nade in hand, Kicker gets an easy kill. Shiro has to try and patch up the hole and drop back into the site because there is an acceleration here for Outsiders. They're trying to speed it up, but they've called it off now. They're not committing fully through short. They want to put the utility in place first. So they created that wall of smokes, and Shiro decides it's better if he plays out to long instead of staying committed on the A ramp. Axel, instead of staying long, is going quickly around short, which means Shiro has to land some shots to slow this one down and weaken the attack. Axel, around the flank, has delivered his first kill. It's Norbert out of there, and the numbers for Outsiders starting to dwindle. Already down to 2. Jame goes to pull it back, and he's finding kills here. Outsiders with 2 quick ones from the sniper, and he is looking for a little bit more. Tucked inside of the site, the 2 remaining Cloud9 players are coming in from short side. Jame will start to consider this as an option. Still worried about long. Remember, Jame is not alone. He still has Fame alongside of him, so the rifle is available, and the boost over the top, it's well played. But now that should signal that both players are coming from the same position, and Fame just needs to hold it. Axel to the headshot, and they're going to stick the defuse to pull it through. Cloud9 with a last-minute retake.
They're leaving these so last second. Axel had to nail that shot instantly to be able to get on the bomb. This was the initial entry that looked good for Outsiders, but Shiro was able to trade. And Outsiders have run this short play a couple of times. Cloud9 are always getting the information. Axel was always pushed up onto long. Shiro able to land a couple of good shots throughout the round.
Well, we're getting the Axel we wanted to see, aren't we? 10-1. Just continuing his form from Dallas.
T-smoke towards long to try and make things awkward for Shiro. Has to consider that someone could creep out behind it. This is very precise from Norbert. He's lining up a molly towards long. Meanwhile, the flash is ready to go around the corner. Shiro was spotted earlier. They're baiting me with this utility, Dinko. I feel like it's
And you were saying, Hawker?
It's there, they flashed.
While you're lying. Finally, here it comes. Shiro blinded. Doesn't even matter. Still takes the shot. Kicker goes down. And the advantage siding with Cloud9. You still have to break through the AWPer, but you also have to deal with Axel. And he is good for 1, nearly the second. Just about staying alive. His Fame on life support. 1 HP. That should have been 2 for Axel, but just the 1 going his way.
With the advantage, Cloud9 don't need to take any risks. nafany in strong position if they were to move through the mid doors. 30 seconds remaining, and looks like he will get his opportunity to strike.
Lovely picks from nafany. The last 3 players go into the blender. Headshot after a headshot after a headshot for nafany. 12-4. The in-game leader now takes over the killing duties as he is now top of the board.
Yeah, a little too easy. No nades against him. Still impressive that he got them all so quickly. Cloud9 do this quite often. They win the round and then they take the timeout. I would love to hear why that is, actually. Maybe they do just want to make sure they calm everything down. Maybe they're getting a bit too hyped.
Yeah, maybe just keep the level of intensity up too, right? You want to make sure that, all right, okay, we are dominating them right now. Let's not make the mistakes. Let's not start getting a little bit antsy and getting aggressive and being a little too overconfident and giving Outsiders opportunities, because right now they are suffocating the Outsiders completely. Just keep this up, close this out, be as convincing as you can in this half.
Especially against a team like Outsiders. I'm sure there are certain players who would start to get a bit impatient and start to just go for unnecessary plays that aren't necessarily in the game plan. Smoke down from Shiro. Got a double setup in play. Taz has taken 1 over towards the B site. They're playing behind this smoke. It's only the pistols right now for Outsiders. And oof, they tried to spam him through the smoke. Hobbit realize it's time to fall back. do like that Outsiders have brought a good amount of utility here alongside the pistols.
Yeah.
Like, too often we see teams invest way too heavily into the weaponry rather than the utility, which can be very effective.
The only rounds that have worked for Outsiders are getting into the B site. So, suppose, you know, just follow that same thought process to try and get into B.
I mean, the AWP is indoors right now, so if there were like a smoke for door, for example, a couple of flashes, it would actually be awkward for Inters.
Yeah, then you would have to rely on nafany. Well, I would certainly be okay relying on nafany. Throws the molly down, gets a double bomb now at his feet. Outsiders attack through the tunnels is being cut short. Kicker running out middle. Cloud9 have everything covered off. Their setups are perfectly designed to deal with what Outsiders are throwing at them. And it's really just a slow pitter-patter to death at this point. Flit will go through a double on a Deeg, but you'll need a little bit more than that. Third kill needed immediately onto Inters, and it won't happen. Outsiders slowly walking towards their death instead of running to it. At least that's getting them some extra time in these rounds, but at the end of the day, it's not very competitive at all. Cloud9 having a very easy time of things at the start of this matchup. This isn't the Outsiders that were pulling upsets in the play-in. This isn't the Outsiders we thought could maybe give Cloud9 a bit of a run today. This is also a Cloud9 who are dominant at the moment. Everybody hitting their numbers, everyone in their full stride.
Really long presence was established for Cloud9, but the smoke to the corner makes them think twice about that. And I like that Outsiders are getting this early long control. It's something they haven't had in quite a few of their rounds. And Cloud9 have been able to be comfortable on A because they've been locking down long on so many occasions. They had just had Axile there. They didn't have to worry about that position whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now that they've lost long, you have to adjust your setup slightly. Shiro's had to go a little more aggressive towards short.
Outsiders have also only won 2 opening fights. There's another one, so make it 3. They've had 2 opening fights, they've had 2 rounds. Will this be their 3rd round? nafany decides to get aggressive through the tunnels, pulls that initial kill back by taking Jame out of the round. 50 seconds left on the mark. Interesting though that Shiro is actually 5-0 in those opening fights. Well, he's going to take a more supportive role here for Axel. Going to send his flash in, and Axel will peek with it. Kicker had the turn away, and that gives Axel the advantage.
B is open right now, but nafany's still on mid, and Inters has come back in time to watch the doors.
Yeah, you can do that now with the doorway. You just sit outside it, scope into the tunnels. If there is no smoke, gives you an option for the kill there on the Cloud9 side. Fame has to clutch this. A 1v4. First kill is his. He has tapped to try and fake it out and draw a push into his crosshair. And that is just going to allow Axel to come around the tunnels and deny even the bomb plant. So the kill is there for Cloud9. Axel now 14-2. 11 rounds for Cloud9 as they just keep pushing forward. There's only 2 rounds left at the end of this first half, and they might just go Cloud9's way. It's a scary time here to be Outsiders. This is their map pick.
It is. It has not been going well for them. Has to be another half investment. Again, heavily into the utility. A few flashes out long for Outsiders. Hobbit decides he wants to take a turn to go aggressive. Good fight onto the initial opponent in lower. And will quickly drop back, having given his team the early lead. Jeez, that Tech 9 with all the Hellraiser stickers over it looked crazy.
Did it raise hell?
Maybe it did. Come on, Norbert, get it out for us.
I can't believe Hellraiser just was an esports team and not some sort of rock band.
It looks kind of cool.
It looks like Darth Maul.
Yeah, I actually quite like it. I'm not joining you on that.
Come on, man.
Nah.
That was the best lightsaber fight ever, man.
Maul is pretty cool. Gotta give it to him.
So when I was going through, when I had COVID, I was going through sort of like a fever dream stage of the illness. And I watched every Star Wars film ever made and nearly bought myself a $1,000 lightsaber. I'm so glad that I recovered quickly from that. Would have taken 8 months to be made as well.
Oh, wow.
And then I could have brought it to
Custom-made
Event Talk and
order.
I could have smacked you around my lightsaber.
I would not enjoy that, but
Oh,
hey.
sure you would.
Well, I feel like Outsiders are getting smacked around right now. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, by Cloud9's lightsaber. It's blue. And now...
A big blue one.
A big blue one.
Just like Hobbit's M4.
Ooh. Hugo's favorite Star Wars character is probably Spock, knowing his knowledge of movies.
Nice.
Well, 12-2. Last round of the half. Cloud9 looking for 13. Shiro looking for another opening kill.
Having a little look down mid. No one there right
Hobbit's
now.
got the new invisible skin on.
One of my favorites. He's going to push up top
Oh,
mid.
he's heard the nade as well, hasn't he?
Seems like Hobbit's had enough in these recent rounds. He wants action. He gets another early aggressive play to go his way.
He's going on an adventure.
You could say that. What color was your lightsaber going to be, out of interest?
Blue.
It was going to be blue.
Yeah. It's
Like
the best color.
Light blue?
Yeah, light blue.
Lightsabers have to be light colors, I feel like, for the most
Yeah,
part.
I watched this video that was like, they tried to make one brown. And like,
Why? Who wants that?
because it's like a technical challenge, because technically brown doesn't reflect light out
Oh, okay.
way, so it would actually be dark in the middle and bright on the outside. So it was some weird thing. It's interesting.
Honestly, with how Star Wars has been going, I feel like they might make a new Star Wars and Chewbacca has a brown lightsaber for some reason.
Oh, I'd
you
love
know?
that. There we go.
New idea for you.
Disney gonna write that one down. Here we are anyway, out of that world and back to the Counter-Strike world as we currently look at Cloud9 having a great time. I'd like to try and close this half with 13 on the board. A missed shot from Shiro. He will adjust to play to the ramp instead, and Utility will start to burn him away and force him further and further back. And he's actually burning inside of the fire. Flit looking to have the high ground as Shiro melts away below him. Flit and Jame get a couple of kills, and this might just be a turnaround for Outsiders towards the end of the half. Hobbit's come back in though, and like you said, he's had enough. James' head no longer attached. Hobbit comes in, another one found, but it's Inters that has everything to do. A 1v2, he isn't gonna do it. So a third round at least claimed at the end of the first half for Outsiders, but a lot of work to do if a comeback is to be had. Join us after the break to see if Cloud9 can close this. Cloud9's return to LAN has been solid so far with 12 rounds posted in the first half. Outsiders will trail by a significant margin on their map pick. There's a long road back into this, but Outsiders are a team that have done it so many times before. We know they can pull comebacks. We know they're a very difficult team to put away. But given what we've seen in the first half, it has not been good enough.
Jame there, bonking the smoke so that it doesn't land. We love that.
Yeah, well, it's spoiled the plans of Cloud9 as they now get information as to that Xbox smoke being blocked away. Either that or someone's shouting at a teammate, "You missed it again."
Flashed in, Jame forced back. Smoke will cut off his vision. He's spamming away, and he doesn't hear any shots landing, so you might figure out that it is a bit of a ruse, and they are now rotating back to A in time.
nafany, little taps, Hobbit able to come through, and Jame is down, so the advantage picked up for Cloud9 early. Axel comes out, enters alongside of him, getting picks for Cloud9, and they have dominated the beginning of this pistol round and look to try and dominate the finish. Flit will come through short, at least one kill found for Outsiders, but so much more needed here. If he tries to get in towards the site, they've got to be swift about this because Axel's on the flank around the backside. The longer Cloud9 delay them, Axel is just about to end them. Here he comes. It's a headshot for Axel and Shiro to close it. 13 rounds for Cloud9. Pistol picked up in the second half. And, well, for Outsiders, that is really the first nail being hammered into the coffin here.
Say what you want about the Outsiders' style of play, but I don't think it's even coming down to that right now. It's more just that individuals have not been showing up. They had opportunities there to land shots, fairly long-range fights against Glocks, just did not connect, did not convert. Exile's 19 for 3, on for a ridiculous KD. Let's see if Outsiders can do something with this force. I couldn't think of another rhyme.
The force. I like it. We're still continuing that Hawk, are we?
That's what I like so much about you, Dinko. You can finish my sandwiches.
Yeah, sure. You got one line here. Looks a bit dodgy, honestly. Oh, lovely damage done under Norbert. And somehow not dead to the nade. All right, Norbert's protected by something greater. nafany comes through. Norbert eventually will die to the rifle of Shiro. And this force buy not working out for Outsiders. The force certainly was not with them.
Jame used divine intervention on Norbert. It was super effective, but he still died.
Now that maybe is the game they're playing right now, because he ain't playing Counter-Strike. 2 rounds away for Cloud9 taking victory with Outsiders forcing and not finding success. That means this buy in the next round is going to be weak, which means Cloud9 should be progressing deeper into the game with 15. 15 rounds, we all know, means map point here on Dust2. If you are just tuning in, wondering what the veto is, map number 2 will be Ancient, the map pick of Cloud9.
That'll be fun.
It will be. I think Outsiders should be okay on that one too. You know, we've seen them play it recently. Definitely adopted it. Let's see if they are going to show up within the break, because they have not been here on map 1.
Sneaking up long is Shiro. Won't be sneaking anymore though, they've spotted him. So he will be looking to take the fight. There is a gap in that smoke, but the kills are coming in anyway.
Oh. Oh, a little bit of a gap throughout the smoke, and that is Norbert revealing Hobbit on the other side of things. The Deagle will snatch away its kill straight away, but it is going to walk right into nafany, and therefore the FAMAS will be successful in taking the headshot. Jame is finally arriving to the party, and Fame's about to be spotted. The Shadow will give him away. His only friend, the Shadow, gives him away. Jame now left inside of middle. And no Jame time on P250, please. Go on, Jame. Thank you. It's going to start walking back in towards long. And, yep, he's found himself a nice corner here. It's the perfect place for Jame time.
How many James out of 10 would you rate this spot for saving?
This is, you know, he's an 11. He's a 10 out of 10, but he saves the P250 in the long corner.
Nice. I'm sure that Jame is the kind of guy to have a spreadsheet of all his save spots ranked. Well, this corner is a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Pretty good cover, but it's pretty unlikely to get exit kills.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on the conditions and what weapon you're carrying. All right, 15-3 though. Cloud9 one away from victory here on Dust2. Their opener here in Cologne looks to be off to an absolute flyer. Outsiders have bought themselves up to buy. Jame with the AWP out here on the CT side. Needless to say, this one needs to go their way.
Always appreciate someone willing to rock the default skin. Sometimes in life, you don't need the flash.
Yeah, not my favorite superhero.
Yeah, he's not the best.
It is fast though, unlike Outsiders. So, Cloud9 looking to move their way through. It's going to be a hold down for Foot. It's good on the first pick. Kicker able to peek out, and it's a nice shutdown here for Outsiders. This ain't bad at all. Cloud9 tried to finish the game with a B play, and they end up getting finished before they even make their way out of the tunnel. So that's a good enough hold from the rifles. Outsiders can be happy about that one. That's 4.
You know the audio line in Counter-Strike that goes, "Are we rushing in, or are we going sneaky beaky like?"
I like that.
Do you think that on James' game, it just doesn't play that line? Because
I'd say so, because maybe he has his game in a different language.
Whoa.
So
Actually true. It's not really a question in James' mind, is it?
imagine a Scottish accent speaking Russian.
You've blown my mind.
I was just wondering, how does that sound? Because obviously, it's weird when you hear like French Canadians speaking French, and it kind of.
Well, that's just because they're weird.
Yes. Shout out Scrawny.
Shout out Scrawny one time.
Wow, Hawker, you just offended a large portion of the world. Well done.
You know, something that is interesting about languages.
All right.
Russian and I think it's Portuguese sound really similar in the way they're spoken. There's some
yeah,
like
they sound
weird...
so identical, bro. You know, that's why Imperial. That's why back in the day, MI Bjork could assign simple and flamey.
I mean, to a non-speaker, they sound pretty similar. I think it is Russian and Portuguese. I can't remember why.
I don't speak either of those languages.
No, exactly. So
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. Maybe I've got it wrong. There's definitely like a language that sounds more similar to Russian than you would expect. I don't remember which language
Okay, we can look this up later.
We'll look it up in the break. We'll figure it out.
Cool. We've had all kinds of interesting facts today.
Some of them true, some of them maybe not.
We'll play the game. Like,
Are French Canadians actually weird? Is that one of the facts? No, French Canadians are
all right. All right, nafany, he's out long. He's got himself into a deep position. C9 looking to close it now.
Spam that smoke. Make sure it's clear.
Well,
Flash around the
blinded. Up on top of the box. He's going to have to change up his spot because of that. And Cloud9 are staying committed. They committed into B very early in the last round with all of their forces. But they try and come back in mid. Look how much ground Flit has got. He's pushed all the way up through top mid. Jame peeks out and catches Hobbit at long. Cloud9 have no real fallback plan because of this mid play, and nafany, he is good enough to take down Flit in the better position. So now we're into the 4v4, a minute left. Cloud9 start to move their way deeper towards this A site. Kicker taking a bit of a risk, goes through the CT smoke. He's on the other side, blinded for the time being, and Shiro will catch him before Kicker can deliver impact. Norbert drops back to play from Goose. He has to get a multi-kill here, and it is just one. Fame and Jame trying to make this one happen. And the plant will be committed to. Could this be it for Cloud9? A victory could be moments away unless Fame, alongside Jame, can work this one. They line up. They nearly go down to one foul spray of nafany, but it's still a 2v2. Jame trying to get his teammate boosted up, trying to get into a better position. It's Jame that goes up with a scope. He spots the head of Shiro, and he's down. Axel just trying to draw the time. He will not be able to pull it off. Jame with a quick kill off the boost, down off the boost, and straight away to the defuse.
I love that boost call in the
It's
2v2
so good.
retake. You really rarely see that, and you can see that Cloud9 were not expecting it. And that is some of the brain power coming through from Jame.
Look at this. Shiro has absolutely no idea. They don't expect this at all. He's so smart. Jame just gets over the angle. Quick kill onto Axel as well. That's a 3K for Jame in that round, and it keeps Outsiders in this. Another map point for Cloud9. Got Tech 9s, they've got some utility and a Galil here. It's not over yet.
No one from Outsiders took the long spawn, so Axel's just going to get out early.
Kicker's out mid. Oh, good flash from Jame. That's actually saved Kicker completely. Hobbit also blinded Shiro, so that's also a save Kicker. And now it's Inters and Axel left alone. Make it just Inters. Outsiders keeping it clean. No threat really at all in this round from Cloud9. 6 rounds now for Outsiders.
Final kill for Flit. If nothing else, a chance for Outsiders to warm up some of their individuals, because I think that really has been the biggest problem. We even saw a couple of possessions earlier where the Outsiders players had fights they probably should have been winning, just could not convert the kills. So nice to see a solid round there. It is now going to be the buy and the pick early for Shiro.
Another opening. Good stuff from Shiro. Cloud9 with the player advantage. Kicker trying to aggress up through mid. Shiro misses his opportunity to double up in the round and give Cloud9 the 2-man advantage right away. So at least Kicker gets a bit of a warning shot. Jame now moving through the lower tunnels. It's a risky position to be in for the AWP for too long. And he will use his own smoke to cover off his fallback. What is the reaction here for Outsiders at long? They want to take it back. They want to try and take some long control away and force Axel into the open. The Molly's going to force him wide, and Norbert and Kicker get the double together. Hobbit pulls one back on Jame on the B site and opens up an opportunity, but the bomb is not close to B. He'll have to buy some time. Hobbit needs to hold the fort inside of the B site, fights Kicker at an awkward ankle, down into CT spawn. Inters has spotted Flit go through the window. They want to get rid of Hobbit, but Flit is in a real tough spot. Will take down Hobbit, but Shiro has arrived to the party. It is now all on Norbert, coming back in from T-spawn through the tunnels into the 1 versus 2. He's taking damage, and Shiro's had enough. 3 kills. Map number 1 going Cloud9's way. 16-6 over the Outsiders. It's a convincing performance upon the return to land. We'll see if they can close the series after the break.